All praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, Ba'asham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Women have been living life on easy mode, all right? Women have been living life on easy mode, but Yahweh is about to change up and make the difficulty harder, man, right? He's about to turn up the difficulty on you women, right? Because for the longest time now, women have been able to always keep blaming men for anything that goes wrong in their life, right? They've been able to raise kids in single parent households, right, without ever making the child even know his father, and somehow blame the father for why the child is a complete failure and a complete hoodlum and a complete demon and a gremlin, right? They've been able to somehow get away with that for a long time, blaming men for anything that goes wrong, anything that goes bad in the community is our fault. Anything that goes good in the community is their fault, right? When their son makes it and becomes a star, that's their fault, right? That's because of them, how great of a mother they was, you know. But when the child becomes a flop, oh, his daddy wasn't around. It's his daddy's fault. I can't. I'm not built to be. I'm not designed to raise a man, you know. When it comes to Father's Day, they're talking about sending themselves a happy Father's Day card and all of this, right? But then when it comes to the child being a demon or committing crimes, they don't want to take the blame and the credit for that, you know, because they've been able to blame the Israelite man on a continual basis for everything that's going wrong in their lives, man. They've always been able to scapegoat us, but Yahweh is now making it be revealed through many different means, mainly through the Hebrew Israelites, but through other different means outside of the Hebrew Israelites as well. It's being shown in this world that women are actually a problem, right? You've got a whole bunch of channels that are going into how women are demons and how women are dodgy, right? Like the Crimson Cure, that's one. That's an Israelite woman going on how the Israelite woman's going off, man, right? You've got all this you had Kevin Samuels, he was a big one, just showing how women are completely delusional. There's no way that a woman should be weighing 250 pounds thinking that she's a 10 out of 10 in attractiveness when her BMI is in the red zone. How are you 10 out of 10 in attractiveness when you're not even healthy? How? All right? Just completely these like delusional because they're living life on easy mode. Because in order for Esau to break down the community, he'd rather give a whole bunch of Israelite women benefits, right? He'd rather give a whole bunch of Israelite women free houses, right? He'd rather give a whole bunch of Israelite women jobs that the men could have had, rather than make the Israelites as a nation have any kind of foundations to build on. And in doing that, the women thought that they was something and thought that they was the leaders. But women ain't designed to lead nothing. Women ain't designed to lead no societies, man. They ain't designed for that. And that's why there's never been a society that women are leading. That the people that they're leading are women. That's never happened. And if it has, somebody show it, man. Somebody show a society where women are ruling that society and the people that the women are ruling over is women only. And the women and that's flourishing. Show it. It don't exist, bruh. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. I mean, rise up, you women that are at ease, all right? Rise up, you women that have been living on easy mode, man. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. And what made women be careless? Living life on easy mode, right? They can get married to a guy, right? Or they can even not get married to a guy in certain places in the world, and they can get spousal support, right? Which is basically money after the woman's not even with the man anymore. But there's no equivalent of that men receive, man. There's when that man's paying that spousal support, there's not no equivalent thing that he's getting from her that he used to receive from her. You know what I mean? That don't exist. And these are all the things that's been designed to weaken men. Whereas the Bible don't speak on how a woman's supposed to get half of a man's money and wealth when she leaves. It speaks on how she's supposed to go out with nothing, because that man's going to need a new wife now, right? And the woman's going to get and join onto another man's wealth anyway, and she already knows she's not going to want to pay. Women don't want to pay for anything ultimately. They will in certain situations, but they don't want to. So it makes more sense in a society to have the men built up, right? It makes more sense for men to have all the money in a society. Why? Because men don't have a problem paying for women. It's women that have a problem paying for men. So what's the point of a woman having her own money and all of this, talking about she's a boss of this and a boss of that, when what does she end up seeking when she's got all this money anyway? A man that's even more rich than her or got the same amount. So it's a joke. It's all a joke, man. All this society is a joke. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease, because they're going to be scared, man, when they realize that Yahawah's turned up the difficulty. He's already done it a little bit. And all these women are starting to get on all these social media platforms crying and bawling, talking about men ain't this, men ain't that, being completely lost, and talking about how bad men are. But all these women, for all the dancing that all these women know, yeah, and how good these women supposedly are at dancing and that, how comes twerking is the only dance move y'all hoes can do? Why is that the only dance move you know? That's it. That's all you know how to do, man. Just twerk all the time. Y'all don't know no other dances, it don't seem like. Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present field, for the fruit for vine. And part of these women's fruit for vine is all the things that they're able to use to beautify themselves. And that's going to be a part of how Yahawah is going to turn up the difficulty. Because one of the reasons why women are able to get away with a lot more in this world is because they're able to beautify themselves and change their appearance drastically. They're able to make their hair longer when they might be bald-headed underneath, right? They're able to change the shade of their skin tone and make it more clear all over, right? More one-toned. They're able to change the length of their eyelashes. They're able to change the size of their glutes, either through natural means, but they don't like doing the natural means of going to the gym and doing it. They like to buy a BBL, or they like to buy some deceitful zip-on BBL attachment shorts or some weird thing like that, right? They get boob jobs, they get lip fillers, they get all these things, man. Nails, all these different attachments and add-ons, like a create a player mode, man. That's what they got. Create a player mode, you know. They can just create an add-on. They could, an Israelite woman in this society might have 7 different hairstyles, like 7 different hair lengths in a whole week, man. The first one being long, then the second one being shorter, then somehow her third day of hair length is longer than the first day. And Yahawah's going to get rid of all that easy mode, man. And I'm going to go into it, man. This is one of the ways how he's going to turn up difficulty. Because when you women ain't got them things of the beauty to try and deceive men into doing things for you, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to be able to come with any of the stuff you come with, because you're going to have to come with your personality then. And guess what? A lot of your personalities suck. A lot of your personalities and a lot of your attitudes stink, man. You ain't got no manners. You're proud as hell. You're running your mouth. You're cutting your eyeball at everyone. And a lot of you women don't understand, yeah. I'm going to say it straight like this. A lot of you women don't understand how many times in your life you've been spared, man. A lot of you women don't understand how many times in your life you've been spared from a harsh judgment, man, because the man had pity on you, because you was the weaker vessel. A lot of you don't understand how many times that's happened, man. That if the man decided to lose it, as much as you women always lose it when you run out your mouth getting all emotional, that some of you wouldn't even be on the earth anymore. A lot of you women don't understand that. And even though you see occasional examples when the man does lose it and starts acting emotional, you still are proud, because you think in your mind that there's always going to be some portion of men that are going to help you. But with what's getting ready to happen, that's not going to exist anymore. Even those men that helped you are not going to be around. And I'm going to go into it right now. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahawah saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go. and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. In that day, Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their round ties like the moon. So Yahweh's going to start taking away things from you Israelite women because you've been proud, because you've been walking around with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, because you've been living on easy mode, because you've been able to divorce a man even though you committed adultery and get half, because you've been able to bear false witness on a man and say that he did this to you and say he did that to you when you know it's a lie. And then you somehow escape. You've been able to commit the same crimes as what men commit, but not get the same judgment. You know, you've been able to get away with a whole bunch because this world's ran by simps. That's whole MO is to destroy the Israelite man. So he don't care if he has to let a few Israelite women get away with certain things, as long as when he looks at the grand scale and realizes, are the Israelites destroyed from me doing this? Yes, okay, I'm gonna do it then. I'm gonna do it. I don't really like rap music. This is how he thinks. I don't really like rap music. I don't really like these N-words. But if I can make their women shake their funky ass all over the internet, and that causes for their daughters that they grow up to then shake their funky asses on the internet too, well, then I'm gonna do it then, and I'm gonna pay these women millions of pounds to make the future generation of women all be harlots as well, and make the men be thugs. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make the women be attracted to the thugs, because the thugs are gonna be the ones that have all the money. I'm gonna allow thugs to get money from crime, but then when they start getting too big, then I'm gonna shake them down. But I'm gonna always make it be a remnant of thugs in the community, in their community. That's always gonna seem to be the people that make money. But when these people want to make money through any kind of righteous, nah, there's not really gonna be any avenues for that. I'm gonna make sure it's always normally with entertainment and stuff like that. Verse 19, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. Now, if most of these women that when we walking down the street, man, that we think are attractive, if they didn't have on makeup a lot of the time, man, right? If they didn't have on a lot of these things that we see them with, we wouldn't rate them as highly as we do, because men are visual, man. And the Bible is clear. It says that the beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance. So when a man sees a beautiful woman, that makes him happy, right? That makes him happy, man. But if a lot of these women didn't have all the things that they have to attach onto themselves that make them as attractive as they are, in a lot of cases, men wouldn't find them. Men would feel a lot more confident to be standing in front of a lot of these women, and they'd realize that actually you're not better than me like you think you are. And that's going to be part of Yahweh turning up the difficulty on these women, man. He's going to take away that easy mode difficulty and change it up a hell of a lot, man. Because then the women are going to have to start fending for themselves. And they're not going to know what to do. Verse 23, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. So when you women ain't going to be smelling as nice as you do. Whenever you walk past a woman and she smells like flowers and all this lavender and all these kind of fragrances in it, they're not going to be smelling like, they're going to be smelling like sweat, dirty armpits, right? BO, man, body odor. They're going to smell stink, man, right? They might smell like blood. And I don't think I need to get into details as to what that blood's going to be, where that blood's going to be coming from. I ain't going to take it there. But they're not going to be smelling like how they smell in certain cases now. And Yahweh's already did it to the Israelite woman. He's already made her have a certain stinky smell sometimes on certain occasions, man. For some of them. I ain't going to say all, for some of them. Right? But he's going to do it again, though. When this society crashes, he's going to do it again. And make you women discover your shame, man. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, bonus. So you women ain't going to be able to have access to those weaves or to all those hair products if your hair happens to be long. You ain't going to have access to the shampoo, to the conditioner. You ain't going to be able to leave the shampoo in for the recommended time limit. You ain't going to be able to then wash that out and put the conditioner in and leave that in for the recommended amount. You ain't going to be able to then put in the hair butter. And the hair, specialized hair creams in there that soften your hair to whatever softness you want it to be. You're not gonna be able to use all the special combs. You're gonna be too busy running away from things to be able to have time to be doing all that. You ain't gonna have access to doing that kind of stuff, man. The hairstyle that's gonna be the hairstyle for women in this time is gonna be messy. That's gonna be the hairstyle, a mess. And it's gonna cause for you women to realize that the difficulty has been turned up for you, man. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty in the war. So you're not gonna have those men that you have now to try and fall back on. Because Yahweh's gonna get rid of them, because they've been a cause for some of this wickedness too. They've been the people that have been enabling you women to get away with all the wickedness that you've been getting away with, man. And that main man that's been doing that is Esau, right? That's the same man that when you women are talking about racism all the time, he's the guy that's doing most of it to you, by the way, right? But then he's the man that you also run to whenever you want the Israelite man to do something that you can't get him to do. But that's something that you women don't like to talk about, right? Verse 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. All right. So when the difficulty has been turned up on you women, you're gonna be like, man, I'm through, I'm done, and you're just gonna sit on the ground and you're just gonna be there, man. And you're not gonna know how to handle this change, because a lot of you already don't know how to handle it now. A lot of you are talking about how the dating world's a cold game and all that, right? You're trying to complain about men getting a passport and going over to other countries and all of this. You're trying to complain about men being bothered about women's body count. Why shouldn't a man be bothered about a woman's body count? If a woman slept with 25 guys, right, and she wasn't able to get a successful relationship out of any of them, men ain't as arrogant as people would like them to think, and you would be stupid to think that all of a sudden you, the 26th guy, who probably wasn't even as financially rich as some of the other 25, right, to think that you're all of a sudden going to be the person that this woman's going to relax for now. Nah, she's going to be a demon for you too. And 25 is being generous in this society. 25 being generous, man. It will be a lot higher than that, the numbers. And that's why a lot of you women don't want to talk about the whole body count thing. Because you know that your body count is way too damn high, man. You know it's way too high. You know it is. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Right? You're going to be sitting on the ground, demoralized, man, and you're going to not know what to do, all you women, man. Verse 4, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So you ain't going to be talking about you need a man to make 10,000 a year. I know when you don't even make half of that. You ain't going to be saying none of that, man. You ain't going to be talking about you'd rather date a perk head drug dealer than date a 9-to-5 man, right? You ain't going to say you'd rather date a scammer than dating a 9-to-5 man. You ain't going to have the nerve to say that a man's a bum that works in McDonald's, right? When you work in McDonald's, right next to him, he works on the fries and you work on the burgers, but he's a bum and you're a boss queen. Nah, if he's a bum, then you're a bum too. How about that? If he's a bum because he works in McDonald's making fries, then you're a bum because you work in McDonald's making shakes. How about that? If he's a bum because he works in Tesco in the freezer department, then you're a bum because you work in Tesco on the cashier's register. How about that? If he's a bum because he's a bouncer at the nightclub, then you're a bum because you're a bartender at the nightclub. How about that? Because you both get paid about the same. But that's not how you women think, though. You women think you're boss queens when you make the same amount of money that a man makes for doing the same job, and try and look up your nose at them. But in the time that's coming, 7 women are going to be taking hold of one man, and a particular man, a man that believes in the scriptures, man. And these men are going to be picky and arrogant and bold, just like how women right now have been picky, arrogant, and bold. But the only difference is going to be that the men that are going to be bold in this case have got the right to be bold, because Yahweh chose them to be in that position. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. So women ain't gonna be the ones winning this so-called gender war that's going on out here, man. Women are gonna be humbled at the end of this, and they're gonna realize that the order of things is YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, the man, that's an Israelite, then the woman, that's an Israelite, then the Israelite child, and below the Israelite child might be the Israelite child's pet turtle or something, man. Yeah? The Israelites' animals or whatever. Or the hierarchy, and then above that will be the hierarchy among the elder sibling and all of that. The elder sibling among the children. That's going to be the higher hierarchy, the hierarchy among the children, man. Until them children become of age to where now the Israelite woman's child, that's a son, he's going to be ranked above her. But you women are not ready for this change. This is the purpose of this lesson, man. A lot of you Israelite women are not ready for Yahweh to turn up the difficulty on you, man. Right? And a lot of you ain't even going to get the chance to be part of those women that are in Isaiah 4 and 1. You're going to be the Micah 7 and 10 women, man. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8, rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh, because Yahweh made our difficulty higher too. Right? Yahweh has already increased our difficulty, but even our difficulty is going to be turned up. Right? But our difficulty is being turned up because we're going to also be turned up too. Our stats are going to be increased for the turn up. But you women's stats are going to be decreased because all the things that you women have to beautify yourselves are going to be taken away. But as Yahweh starts making prophecies that we've been waiting for come to pass, then our words that we've spoke are going to have more strength. So things that we speak out of our mouth, people are going to find them more honest, right? Whereas now people are like, I don't know, nah. But as people start seeing that the things that men have said decades ago, right, are now happening on the earth, everything that these men say after that point, people are going to want to believe that more, right? And according to Amos 8 and 11, people are going to be seeking for the word of the Lord, but they're not even going to be able to find it. But for those small amount of people that do able to find it and are able to get access to these men, the women in such cases are going to be happy. They're going to be extremely ecstatic to have found these men, man. And if the men so happen to take a liking to the woman and she's humble in a right way, not that fake humility that you men are always able to pull out your ass every now and again, right? Not that fake fluttering of the eyelashes, because that's not going to work, because you're not going to have all of those flattering eyelids and all those cocoa butters and all those creams and all those fragrances to make it. So you're going to have to come in a true humble humility, man. You're going to have to come in a true humility and a meek spirit, man. Not with no fakery on yourself, man. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Right? So a lot of women, when that difficulty gets changed up and turned up on them, they ain't even going to make it into the salvation portion, man. They're going to get destroyed in this society. Because for the longest time, man, women have just been running their mouth, right? Living carefree, man. As if they and Israelites too, and as if they haven't sinned. All the videos that we've watched as Israelite men and have saw, women have got access to those same videos, man. All the videos that we've saw rebuking men, women have saw the videos rebuking women. And in a lot of the cases, they've stiffened their neck, and they've been I've got a personal belief that a lot of the videos that have been taken down off the internet a lot of the times have been the cause by Israelite women doing it, man. Reporting it, and a lot of these channels that have been taken down, I think in a lot of cases we're going to find out that Israelite women was the cause of that, man. Because they didn't like a doctrine that made men be high. They didn't like a doctrine and a belief system that gave the Israelite man something to believe in himself for, because they wanted him to, if at all, be good, to be good in this society, where if at any moment the relationship between him and her don't work out, well then she can get half of his money at least. But Yahweh said no to, he's going to say no to that, man. And he's going to destroy this place and destroy all you proud women with it, man. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.